Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a closer look at Bloomington's incorporation controversy. A murder suspect is in custody in the DeWitt County Jail, and a Victoria man is appointed to a state commission by Governor Greg Abbott.
Another hot day, but now it's getting serious. In fact, tomorrow's forecast, the word is dangerous heat is expected because we got up to 100 degrees today and the heat index was at 115. We'll have more on your weather coming up.
And the Cuero Gobblers, they're ready to continue their success from last year. I'll have that in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. This is an alert date. Let's take a first look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Perez. And Mac, the heat is continuing to rise out there.
Yes, it is. In fact, it's almost a feedback loop where it gets hotter, it holds it at night, then it gets hot again the next day, and then it holds it at night. So it's sort of beginning to build up. Right now, you can see the temperatures, 98 for us in the city. We're looking at 104 out in Gonzales, 105 in Karnes City, 104 even down in Refugio. The thing is, tomorrow temperatures are going to be very close to that, and as a result we are going to be, as we were today, under an excessive heat warning. That means you must take precautions. Heat advisories tells you, hey, it's going to be hot. This is now temperatures that are dangerous. So the good news is by the time we get to this weekend, we may have a little bit of a change in that. So we'll have all your weather details coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you, Don.
Mike, thank you. Bloomington residents are looking to get answers to their questions about the potential incorporation of their community. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting has more on this story. Trenton?
Don, thanks. The big topic lately within the small community of Bloomington is the movement to incorporate portions of the town by a nonprofit. The nonprofit is only identified by a number, 87204 EDC Core. We've reached out to their attorneys and have not heard back. Many residents are confused and have a number of questions about this movement. The draft map for the proposed village of Bloomington was crooked and did not include many areas of the town. Victoria County Judge Ben Zeller says county leaders are investigating this, and the county has taken a step forward by hosting a meeting this Thursday night.
Most folks we talk to aren't opposed to Bloomington being incorporated. The questions they're raising are, why is this only a portion of the community and not the whole community? Why has this been done in quiet, behind closed doors, in the shadows, rather than being a public discussion, as these things should be? Who are the interests in the individuals pushing for this?
Judge Zeller encourages anyone interested in the future of Bloomington to attend a town hall this Thursday. It takes place inside St. Patrick's Catholic Church, located past the railroad tracks on Highway 185. Doors open at 6 p.m. Every county commissioner is expected to attend, and representatives from the sheriff's office also plan to attend. Judge Zeller says despite the rather aggressive move to incorporate, the plans did not mention how the newly incorporated area would implement city services like water, fire protection, and police. The move to incorporate will not make the November ballot since the 13th Court of Appeals determined the petition did not meet the legal requirements. Don, back to you.
Trenton, thank you. And here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan that QR code on your screen to vote. Here's the question. Do you plan to attend the Bloomington Town Hall this Thursday? Yes or no? Pretty much overwhelmingly, 87% of the voters say no, they will not be at that Bloomington Town Hall. We thank you for voting and we want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we will have an update on 25 News Now after the Democratic National Convention. DeWitt County deputies arrested a 40-year-old man. Michael Brose is charged with the murder of 57-year-old Kenneth Dixon of San Antonio on September 12, 2021. Dixon's body was found in an RV park in Cuero. Brose has been in custody since then. He is in the DeWitt County Jail in lieu of $500,000 bond. Lavaca County deputies arrested a man Monday. Tony Lynch faces 2 charges, including assault of a family member, impeding breath or circulation. He is in the Lavaca County Jail in lieu of $100,000 bond. The Democratic National Convention enters its second day after remarks from several Democrat leaders last night. It featured an endorsement from President Biden for his Vice President, Kamala Harris. Local attorney and Democrat John Griffin said that it could have marked a change of guard in the party.
Transitions can be hard, but they're also sometimes good. And I think there was a sense of gratitude for the stability that President Biden brought the country, but also kind of a recognition that it's time for others to hold the torch. Working together, we're always going to be in a better position than if we're at each other's throats and all of us casting aspersions at people just because of their party label.
Day 2 is tonight, and former President Barack Obama will be the keynote speaker. A UPS driver in North Texas is recovering after he passed out from the heat while he was on the job. The driver crashed into a tree and ended up in the hospital on Friday. Union leaders are speaking out about what happened.
Many of us try to avoid the Texas heat as much as possible. But for Garfield Hooper, a UPS driver at the McKinney Center, he's in it every day.
So each door open, you're going 60 miles an hour down the road. That's your only AC in those trucks.
Hooper says it's a dangerous gamble working in triple digits. And this is why.
It's sad to see these things happen.
A UPS worker shared these pictures with us. They show a UPS truck after the driver passed out behind the wheel and collided with a tree. The union says heat-related symptoms are to blame. A representative says it happened on Friday. The driver is from Longview and was helping out in McKinney. He's okay and out of the hospital. UPS did tell us in a statement, "We are aware of an incident involving our driver in McKinney, Texas. We care deeply about his safety and well-being. We are working with authorities to investigate." The company says they're equipping all new vehicles with AC and making modifications to existing cars. They've also given employees specialized cooling gear, access to ice and water, and encourage them to take breaks to cool off whenever they need to.
It reaches 150, 160 degrees in the back, and you can't touch surfaces in the back of that truck without burning your hands.
Last year, McKinney UPS worker Chris Begley collapsed in the sweltering heat during one of his routes and died several days later. Hooper says every single day workers have to endure this temperature, and to him, it only seems to be getting worse.
When you're working 10, 12 hours day after day in this heat, by the time it gets to Thursday and Friday, water and Gatorade's only going to do you so much.
Union President David Reeves said the truck that crashed did not have AC. He also said the driver contacted his higher-ups before the crash to report he was not feeling well, but was still kept on the job. Governor Greg Abbott appointed a Victoria man to the Governor's Committee on People with Disabilities. Billy Blanchard is a vocational rehab counselor for the Texas Workforce Commission. The committee recommends changes in disability policies and programs, supports a network of committees on people with disabilities, issues awards to promote greater awareness, and promotes compliance with disability-related laws. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. Then you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News now at 6. A Texas forensics firm identifies a body found after 21 years in Tennessee. Also ahead, find out the historic record price for a gold bar. attorneys was targeted in a hacking attempt. CNN reports Lindsay Halligan was targeted as part of the Iranian hacking effort, though the timing of the attempt and the extent of any breach of her devices or accounts remains unclear. The FBI continues to conduct a high-stakes investigation months out from the presidential election. Halligan has been on Trump's legal team for several years and worked closely on the classified documents case. A cold case in Tennessee, more than 20 years old, takes another step at being solved. A Texas forensics lab helped identify the remains of a person found in 2003 near Knoxville.
At the Knox County Regional Forensic Center, they get 2 to 3 unidentified remains each week.
And in most cases, within a week's time period, we can make that identity, whether we're bringing in our dental assistants, whether we're using fingerprint technology.
Oftentimes, they're solved and identified quickly, but a case from more than 20 years ago remained a mystery.
We have no clue who they are. We have no suspected identity. We don't have any lead whatsoever. We're at a loss.
So they utilized Othram Labs in Texas to try to help. Using cutting-edge DNA testing, they were able to identify the remains as Brian Sanderson and let his family know.
After talking to his family members, he had kind of gone off a long time ago, and they had not seen him, and I don't believe they were looking. So the fact that he ended up in Knoxville, Tennessee at some point in time prior to his death is, still a lot of unanswered questions of how he got here and how long he had been here.
Sanderson was 54 at the time he died. Police say in 2003, someone walking spotted a human skull along I-275 near the railroad tracks by Woodland Avenue. The forensics report shows Sanderson was stabbed multiple times. For years, they struggled to identify him, in part because nobody ever filed a missing persons report. He was originally from Vermont.
If I had a loved one that was out there, I would want to know that maybe there's some agency like ours in another city, in another state, in another county that's doing the same amount of work and has the same passion to try to bring home these individuals.
For the first time ever, a bar of gold is worth $1 million. Prices for the precious metal hit a record high Friday, soaring to more than $2,500 per troy ounce. Most gold bars are usually traded internationally by central banks and bullion dealers. When interest rates fall, gold prices tend to rise as bullion becomes more appealing than bonds.
I got one of those in my car, as a matter of fact. No, it's not covered, it's painted gold. Painted gold. Anyway, folks, another hot day over the crossroads, and now it's getting serious. In fact, dangerous heat is what it's being considered. 99 degrees even at this hour. We've been at 99 since about 1 o'clock. I do believe actually the temperature is 100 degrees as a high for today. We'll see how that checks out. That averages to 95 where we're supposed to be. Now, thing is, tomorrow we've got another seriously hot day, but there is hope on the horizon that we may even get some showers. Wouldn't that be nice? We'll talk about that coming up after this. Another day to try and stay indoors, but I know a lot of you have to be outside. I just want you to be cautious. What we give out all these advisories is so you know that you need to take precautions. We don't want to bother you, and I know you got to get things done, but the heat is dangerous. Today we're looking at 99 even at this hour, and even at this hour it's 102 in Refugio, still 100 in Goliad, and 99 in the Edna area. Of course, it's the heat index that got up to 115 today, and that is, shall we say, tough weather. You saw what happened to the UPS drivers, and we don't want that to happen to you. So we keep telling you about the heat being serious and how it's likely again tomorrow to be on the serious side. Now, all of our counties are under a excessive heat warning. Okay, that means it's happening now. You got to do something. When we get heat advisories, we're just telling you it's going to be hot, you should be careful, but this is when you got to do something about the heat. So when you've got crews out and guys working outdoors, or guys and gals, just consider, getting their breaks, bringing them in between especially noon and 3 o'clock. Our high temperature 99 started at 1 o'clock. Now it's gone all the way till 6 o'clock, so it's been in that area all day long. We've got another day of this because it's going to be probably at least 100 tomorrow. That's the forecast high out of the computer, but you can see the rest of the state of Texas is just blazing. I mean, 111 in Del Rio, 105 way up in West Texas, and bone dry. So you've got to just consider that you have to respect the heat. So stay hydrated, get plenty of breaks, limit your strenuous activity outdoors, check on the elderly pets, and if you just feel a little woozy, it's time to go inside somewhere, all right? Ernesto's still kicking around, no longer a tropical storm, basically a depression falling apart but continuing to race across the northern Atlantic and might even run into Ireland. As you can see right here, the path of the storm came all the way from the Atlantic all the way around, pretty much touching about 4 or 5 continents. For us, in the next 7 days, there's no major concern coming out of the Caribbean or the Atlantic as well. So we're kind of on the quiet side. Now, the dome is in control of everything. When you see that, it's blazing hot. When you see this, some cooler weather coming into the northwest. So that's going to squeeze the dome down a little bit. And then, because we have one dome over North America and another dome in the Atlantic, we have this little space between these two. It's called a col, C-O-L, but it's basically just a weakness. And as we get to Saturday and Sunday, a little area in the upper atmosphere is going to start circulating, which may bring not only lower pressures to our area, that would help us with the heat, but also the possibility of rain around here. Now, wouldn't that be excited? Let me show you on the 7-day what I'm talking about. Tomorrow, just blazing, folks, 97, take it easy. Tomorrow in Cuero, blazing, 101, the high temperature. But, like I said, 2 more days of super hot temperatures and then a little bit of a break, because on Saturday we start picking up some clouds. Sunday, 40%, Monday, 40%, Tuesday, 50% chance of rain. Wow, wouldn't that be exciting to finally get a break in this brutal heat? That's your 7-day forecast, reminding everybody that we do have a QR code. Love for you to scan that, put Crossroads Today on your phone. And here's Don.
Thank you, Mac. And Max Williams has your sports. He includes high school football and high heat.
Yeah, warm and warm and warm. That's what's happening here in the Crossroads. But for Hallettsville, they're trying to stay hot here, Don, in 3A. They're ready to break out for a huge season. I'll have that and more in sports. All right, everyone. So we're only 10 days away from the start of the high school football season here in Texas. And man, the Cuero Gobblers, they want to have a lot to change start up the season. So they are losing star quarterback Mason Nataro and running back Kenneth Jackson. And now under center will be Jackson Marie, who was on defensive back last season, folks. And man, and now he's going to go over and be a great athlete at quarterback. So head coach Jared Feacock is saying he can do it all, and he has a dynamic aspect to his game, and he can't wait for his junior quarterback to take over in just a few days.
He can do everything we ask him to do. He can make all the throws. He's good at reading defenses. He's got good speed. I think the kids respect him, and so he's had a really good summer and a really good fall camp so far, and so we're just looking forward to getting to play some competitive other teams other than just the Gobblers, and so looking forward for him to have a big season.
The Gobblers, they went 12-1 last season, and Cuero, they're going to be tested in week 1 to say the least. They get to start off ranked at number 12, but they welcome Columbus Cardinals, who are projected to be a top 3 team. Man, Cuero, a nice early test to start off the season. Now staying with football, we're previewing another team in 3A now, the Hallettsville Brahmas. The Brahmas, they're in Class 3A Division 1. They went 7-4 last season, and the Brahmas, man, they're not going to have running back Jay Sean Price, who was graduated last season, and man, was really a Swiss Army knife for the team. And man, Hallettsville, they did beat some of the area teams we talk about here in the Crossroads. They beat Shiner and Yoakum last season. And under head coach Levi Montgomery, they're trying to keep the momentum going. And one player that's going to be huge for them is going to be Jerain Wilson, who again committed baseball at Texas A&M. But don't worry, folks, he's going to be back here for the football season in his senior year now. Man, he's trying to make a statement for the Brahmas, and they open up against the Comanches again on August 30th, next Friday. And now here we go, staying in high school football ranks. Now the dreaded heat, like Mac has been talking about, is arriving here in the Crossroads area. So what is the UIL going to do here with these heat protocols going into this season? Here's some of the guidelines that I figured out. If you look at it, every practice outside for the players, there'll be, again, rapid cooling zones, whether it's going to be cold tubs, cold water tarps. They're going to be at every practice for all the players for when they do. And then also another thing that's going to happen, rest breaks. They're going to be taken, and when they are, players, they recommended that they stay hydrated as much as possible. And man, coaches and players also need to keep in mind about the heat injury prevention for everything that goes on when the heat arrives. Now over to the pros, the Houston Astros. They walked it off last night over the Boston Red Sox 5-4 from the bat Yanier Diaz. And the Astros, they were down early 4-2 last night with Masataka Yoshida hitting a 2-run shot for the Red Sox. But the Astros, they showed resilience and they scored 3 unanswered runs with the walk-off from Diaz. Man, the Astros, they're going to try to keep the win streak alive tonight at Minute Maid Park. And for the Astros, Ronel Blanco is again on the mound, 9-6 overall, and has a 2.69 ERA. And while we talk about high school football, last thing tonight, we get to talk about former athletes from the area, a Yoakum Bulldog and Zach Taylor, who is now a receiver at Arkansas. Man, he was the quarterback of the team last year, and you can see he's now wide receiver, trying to show off here in the Crossroads area. Again, man, it was a big time in SEC country. It's just, man, good to see that, Don, when you got players like that coming again from our area here and representing well there in the next level.
Indeed. All right. Thank you, Max. And we're back in a moment. Firefighters rescue a skydiver from the trees in Virginia. Firefighters rescued a wayward skydiver who landed in the trees. The Orange Volunteer Fire Company says firemen worked for nearly an hour to reach and rescue the skydiver. They had to use a ladder truck to reach the man due to the height of the trees and the canopy. The incident occurred during the Big O Boogie, an event with live music, food trucks, raffles, and more, but it did not include, at least scheduled, skydivers running into tall trees, which is one good reason why I have not been skydiving. I'm afraid of landing on trees.
It's been a long time since I've been skydiving.
I don't plan on it. But it's cooler up there. That's one good
point.
thing.
Yeah.
Because folks, tomorrow we're looking for another triple-digit day, and we've got a heat advisory because we have a excessive heat warning, and that means that we do expect the heat index to get up to 115 in the afternoon, and that is very dangerous for your body. Now you're thinking, oh, it's just a little sun, you know, I can cross the parking lot. Well, yeah, you can cross the parking lot, but not too many times.
Exactly. All right, Mac, thank you, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight after the for the 25 News Now at 10 after the Democrat National Convention. Have a good night, everybody.